Hey Daniel, welcome to the show.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Good, good. So excited to have you. I want to start off with asking you about your story. Like, how did you get into BitClout? Because you're a startup founder, already know that. But like, how did that transition happen while building a startup? There's so much that happens when you build a startup, obviously, and you somehow found time and built so many projects on BitClout. How did that happen?
Yeah, so obviously I'm always on Twitter anyway, because Q is primarily a social media company. It's making a slight pivot now. But obviously being involved with the startup world, you see people talking about various things, and one of them was BitClout. Like I'm just setting up my BitClout or something. I was like, oh, what's this? So obviously, and then you go to find out what it is, and it's just this black screen with red writing. It's like, what the hell? What the hell's this? And then you're searching for a password, and it's quite cool. And eventually you get in, and then there's an issue with like verifying your mobile number or something. And then I was like, oh, I'll just leave it then. And then like a week or so later, Mubs, I don't know if you've heard of Mubs yet. He's everywhere, all over BitClout. He's like messaging me saying like, oh, I'm really getting into this BitClout stuff. So I thought, oh, I better go and have another look again. And thankfully, was it Wizard that sent you like the first like BitClout or something? Is it Wizard?
I have no
Can't
idea.
remember the name. Yeah. So when you start when you first signed up, when they verified your mobile number, they would send you like a small amount of BitClout so you could like
BitClout, yeah,
set your profile. Yeah, I
yeah.
think it was Wizard. I'm obviously wrong because it's not ringing any bells. Uh, and obviously then set up my profile and thought, oh, what the hell am I going to do on BitClout? Because I don't know what to share. And that's when I started sharing those like punks, those like little images. And then I thought, oh, maybe I can just like make some punks with people if they buy my coin or something. So just trying to get used to the mechanics of it all, really. And Bubs was one of the first persons to actually buy a punk. And then for them, it sort of snowballed a little bit with the punks, which was quite fun. And obviously, you join all the discords related to it and things, and then you start meeting people, and you think, oh, I could probably start something here because it's like a good place to do it. It's so much opportunity so early, and got to know a guy called Manu, and we started a newsletter company together just to sort of because we were all on it all the time. We knew everything that was going on, so it seemed like a really good thing to do. I think we launched exactly the same day as Bits Today, uh, who obviously have done really well out of it. So we started a thing called Clout Digest, which was just a newsletter we built on Substack, and it was quite good. Obviously, it's nice because you get to meet lots of people. You mention them all the time, and then they do stuff for you. You do stuff for them, and it was a really good way to meet the community. And obviously that led us on to CloutLater. Um, what was the original question?
I was asking like how did like how what was the story with like how does progression happen? So um like you got on the platform and then from there on, what made you decide the certain projects you're working on? How did you progress? I guess evolve on the platform.
Yeah, so obviously the Clout Digest thing really helped me understand that there was a quite a big opportunity here, not to make just quick money short term because it's really easy just to launch something and it rise and you get out quick or whatever. But I wasn't ever going to do that. But I felt like that was a really good opportunity here for people like us, like entrepreneurs, to build something for the long term for sure. And Cloud Digest proved that to me.
Mhm.
Um, with obviously with Q and our experience in social media and it made sense for us to build a social tool, so like a social scheduling tool for BitClout.
Yep.
And this was back in the day before there was like loads of front end or loads of open source code and everything. We had to hack something together. Like it was really hacky. It's like the next day it wouldn't work again. You had to start again. And Pete, who's our developer at Q, um, he's like a genius and just came up with this thing in like a couple of days. And it was like this Chrome extension, and you could schedule posts across multiple accounts and stuff. And it was really good. Um, and then 2 days later, they launched BitClout Identity, which then broke it again.
Yeah.
And but that's the joy of all building on BitClout being so early, and it's good fun. And now we've actually got a full fledged extension again. It's working again. It's really good. Um, but yeah, just bringing that experience from Q, building that into CloutLater, uh, just made a ton of sense. It's what we
Makes sense.
do day in day out. It made sense to bring it over to BitClout, and so far, people have been happy with the service. And
Yeah,
it's free. They just need to hold the coin. Yeah,
makes sense. And you know what's crazy, by the way? I actually have a question for you because um, I was so I because I record these videos, right? And so I have people who work for me, and I want them to post the content and not me. But right now I couldn't share the seed phase, right? So obviously, so I have to post it myself, and and so I was thinking about it. I'm like, I want a scheduling tool, and it's crazy. I hadn't heard about CloutLater, or actually, sorry, I had heard about CloutLater, but what I had heard was it was a Chrome extension, and me being
yeah.
new in this space, I was scared because people are told, oh, Chrome extensions are not safe, A, B, and C, right? And so I was actually, believe it or not, I was thinking about building one for myself before I chatted with you, and I was so excited to talk to you because I wanted to know more about it. But like, how does are the extensions unsafe, or how does that, or is it now safe now after you guys have embedded the identity part? Like, how does that work?
It's actually safer with an extension. Well, before BitClout Identity came about, because the extensions simply use what's in the browser already. Yeah, all your passphrases and all that are stored within the browser. So the extension just access that without actually accessing it, if you know what I mean. It's a weird, and we sort of just we were just on top of your current experience was there. So we weren't actually logged in as you or anything. We were just acting as you, or emulating what you would do as a human on the screen as the extension. So we didn't see any like
Yeah,
passphrases. We didn't ask for anything, no emails, no nothing. So at the time, it was actually much safer. Um, Obviously, in the future, we'll go full app level. So we'll take it away from the extension, go to a proper app
got it.
where you can manage multiple accounts and better have team members, so you won't have to share your seed phase or anything like that.
Yep,
So that's really good. And that's the next stage for CloutLater.
I love that.
Um,
Awesome. Yeah,
yeah,
awesome. And so with what's the longer term vision with cloud, like kind of what you said, like where the idea is that team members, other, like people can, you can schedule the post kind of like in the what we do in the social media, like a tool like maybe Hootsuite would do. Kind of that's that kind of the idea where you can schedule posts
yeah,
for later, you can have team members who can do it for you, you can manage comments at one place, kind of all that kind of stuff.
yeah. I think eventually it could go down the idea of managing comments, notifications, and things. But obviously, to make it simple for now is, yeah, multiple accounts, team members from one app. And I think including like Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, or maybe not LinkedIn, into that same experience as well, just makes people, makes BitClout more a similar experience to like Twitter and everything, because people want that. They want to share the Twitter. They still want to share this Twitter, so they want to share the BitClout at the same time. So bringing all that into one experience is probably a good idea. And we've already built all the social scheduler already. So now it's
Mhm.
the case of um, making sure that BitClout identity works well enough to get all those accounts into one place and secure enough as well, obviously. So that's what we're working on at
Amazing.
the moment. Yeah,
Amazing. And so I know that you said, like, so it's three of you guys on the team, right? Uh, and
flat
obviously you
layer.
guys, yeah, and obviously you guys work on Q together. Are all of you guys developers, or how is it somebody like looking after the marketing, or how do you guys kind of work together?
Yeah, so there's three of us at Q. Well, there's eight of us at Q, but five of which sort of manage support and all the content that comes in, because we have this manual review process. Uh, the three of us who work on CloutLater is Matthew Spur, who's my co-founder at Q, Peter Day, who's the developer, and myself. And Matthew and I aren't developers, but was sort of a jack of all trades, really. Marketers. I'm by trade designer, graphic designer, UI, branding, etc. Matt's like marketing, sales, branding as well. And we really work really well together as a team. So we're just it's not going to take much to actually build this CloutLater business
Yeah,
at all, because we've already we've been there. We're just going to
yeah,
bring it to the BitClout world.
makes complete sense. Because you have been in the content space for so long and you build startups, so everything, yeah, it makes total sense to me because there's so much that is transferable from there to here. Um, yeah. So you said because you do design. Is that why like how the CloutPunk kind of came about? Because you can do you were doing design, it was just for fun. You wanted to make these punks and put it out there, kind of thing.
Yeah, it was funny because it started on Twitter like ages before BitClout. I was just making punks for my friends, like crypto punks, was the inspiration behind it, and it was just for fun, really.
Yeah.
And it went to BitClout. It's still was just for fun, because they don't take very long, like max a few minutes. Um, uh, and anyway, so the story of CloutPunk and how that came to be is obviously it started on my own BitClout account, um, and it was always quite popular. And then we launched Clout Digest, and we tried to do a like sort of competition, and we used those punks as a way to give away stuff and get people involved. And again, it was really really popular, too popular, in fact, because the Clout Digest news feed was just punks. It was just punks, all the punks. So we felt like we needed to separate it from Clout Digest, and we created the CloutPunk BitClout account. And when we moved it to that, the idea was never to actually create this like mosaic NFT. That just came about naturally. Um, Obviously inspired by Beeple and that big
Hmm.
mosaic art piece he made, like 5,000 pieces. We just thought, well, this is probably quite a good idea. Get all the early people of BitClout, make a punk, a massive mosaic of them all. It's like sort of history in the making, and that felt like a really cool idea. And and the mechanics of the coin and why you would hold a coin, and for the coin value to go up over time, and why would someone hold the coin and stuff like that. That was really interesting to me when I first joined BitClout. I felt like CloutPunk was really good for that. Yeah. Um, and then obviously it just went mental. We just grew and grew and grew really fast.
Yeah, that's so cool though. And I also think that like from an entrepreneur perspective, like the reason I do these podcasts, right, is because I want to learn, and one is learning, obviously, because I learn from smart people, and then I'm like, okay, well, what can I build like as an entrepreneur? I think about these things and what other people are building. How can we collaborate? And the other part of it also is I meet cool people, like whether it's people like who are investors or the people who are like designers, builders, and you just like you build a part of the community, right? So I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I think building Cloud Punks could be pretty cool because you probably had like these hundreds of people who are like basically who bought the punk. So now you have a relationship with them. They know you, and not that everybody will become like a connection, but like a lot of them would probably become like good connections, and eventually a few of them would become investors and would become someone you work
Yeah.
with and stuff like that. So it was a good way to build community and get your name out there.
Yeah, no, it has been. It's been really good. I've met so many people just from CloutPunk. Um, like I said, the plan was never to make CloutPunk this massive success, but it just happened naturally because I think people just wanted to be part of the like the history moment,
Initial,
get a punk and just be part of that big final NFT. And it
yeah,
was just a really fun project to be part of. And the fact that it just grew to like 5,000 a coin
it's crazy.
was just crazy.
how many punks have you sold so far?
Over 300 now. I think it's like
Okay,
310 or something like that. So it has
okay,
slowed down a bit, which is always going to be the case, I think, because there's not actually that many people active on BitClout, uh, and
yeah,
obviously that is growing again now. So I'm hoping we've got enough momentum behind us to get to the ultimate 1024.
yeah.
Um, and obviously that's still the goal. I still want to get there. Um, yeah, we'll just keep going, keep cracking on.
Ama- Amazing. And for viewers, it's about $300 of your coin a punk. Is that the price or
It's actually $100,
of the coin?
hold the coin, and it's like 15% FR, so we get like $15 a punk at the moment. And if you hold on to the coin, and then when we do eventually sell the 1024 mosaic piece, the sale of that will be shared with all the coin holders. So there's a reason to hold the coin.
Amazing. I'm gonna get my punk after this call. I'm excited for that.
Awesome.
Let's do it. I couldn't get a crypto punk, so I'm definitely gonna get a cloud punk.
Do it,
um,
man.
let's move into like after cloud. So you kind of started off with cloud punk, and just kind of get your feet wet. Basically, you made connections. You saw what's going on. You had fun with the platform. Then you saw an opportunity with CloutLater, and now you guys are building that, which is super cool. It's obviously a need there. And so from there, how did the idea for club rooms came about?
Yeah, again, like I said, it's almost like the beginning of the internet again, and people are looking for tools in order to have that BitClout experience outside of BitClout. Um, and at the moment, people are using Clubhouse and this new Jam Clout, I think it's called. But there's no real way to reward your existing coin holders without just inviting them individually. So we
Yep.
wanted to create this like experience, a BitClout experience with like diamond tipping and things like that you're used to within a video room experience. That automatically knows if you're holding someone's coin or holding a certain amount of coin, or if you've reclouted a post or something like that. So, and then it will let you in to the room, and then you're either a speaker, like you just been invited to speak, or you're just part of the audience participation. So there's live chat and things like that. But the reason we made it is because there's just this massive opportunity right there, and we just thought as a group of developers, entrepreneurs, we just felt the need to just want to build it. And there's 6 of us involved on this one, and that's because obviously we've all got our separate projects, so we felt like we needed a bigger group here to really build this one and make it really good.
That's so cool. So basically, simple idea. You just check if somebody's holding a coin. If yes, give access to this room. And in
Yeah,
there, there's more BitClout features like diamond tipping and stuff like that. Makes total sense. Yeah, very,
yeah,
very something simple, something that's needed. Yeah, it makes complete sense to me. That's very cool. And so it's it's not only your team. It's not only you, Matt, and so what was the last person's name?
Pete,
Pete.
yeah,
It's not. It's
Pete,
not you. It's not you, Matt, and Pete. It's basically other people from other projects all kind of combining, collaborating, and building it together.
yeah, yeah. Mubs is involved. I've known Mubs for years now. He actually built Q, the
Oh wow.
original
Okay.
Q. Yeah, so I've known him for like 6, 7 years. Ever since like Product Hunt sort of started, well, became Product Hunt, and that was really good. So I've kept that relationship with Mubs over the years, and he's just like a prolific developer. So to have him on your side is always really good. And Pete again, he's a crazy good developer. So we got 2 really good developers, plus Paul Burke,
Yep.
who's developer behind like BitClout Plus and some other things that he's building. So to have 3 ridiculously good developers on board is really good for the
Yeah,
project.
it's very
And obviously,
amazing. Yeah.
I'm the designer. Yeah, I'm the designer, so I'm doing all the UI and everything like that, the websites up and everything. And then we've got the marketing side and advisor side and things like that. Yeah, it's really good fun.
Very cool. So out of curiosity, and the reason I ask this is because I know a lot of people, including myself, would love to do some kind of collab project like that. How do you set up the details? Like for example, obviously you guys are company coin holding all the coins, right? But still only one person's holding the seed phase. So how do you guys like do that where the call it the equity? Because I'm guessing you guys are not a company right now, right? This is more like fun
Not
right
yet.
now. Is that the goal that eventually, once it's enough going on, you turn that into a? Because right now it's trust based stuff. Obviously, these are all people who are not like just trying to get some cash out. They want to build bigger stuff. Obviously, so you know that from the experience. So the goal is right now just get it started, and then eventually turn that into a company and give shares, kind of thing. Is that the goal?
Yeah, that's it. The coin is just this weird thing that we're not used to. Um,
Yeah.
but it's almost a good way to get everyone involved early because we've obviously all put some money in,
Yep.
only a small amount, but
Yep.
it's almost like putting your skin in the game. Like, yeah, I'm committed to this project. We're going to make this a success. In terms of the actual company legal side of things, we'll sort that down the line. I know in the UK for sure we've got like 3 months before we have to actually declare anything. So we'll get things done in the next 3 months, and then we'll think
We'll
about
kind
it
of
then
figure that out. Yeah, I
for
saw
sure.
Arts and Chris is now an investor, and I'm sure you guys are like kind of trying to find big names and kind of get it all together, and then hopefully get the product out and then to turn that into a company, and then that's kind of the
Yeah,
way to
yeah,
approach.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and thankfully, Bitseed, the guys behind BitHunt, they they really like the idea and they want to back us. So they managed to get Arts and Chris and everyone involved early on. Um, yeah, we're sort of talking to other investors now, I say investors, but it's more of a just like, we want you to support us. We want you to help promote club rooms, and
Yep.
for that, get in early to the coin, because obviously it's not an investment, is it? It's more of a bet on their end that we're going to be successful and the coin value is going to go up, and
Makes sense.
we're going to do everything we can to ensure that the coin value does go up, for everyone involved. So we've got various mechanics that we can use in order to make that coin value go up over time.
Makes sense. Sorry, I did not know about. So what's Bitseed and what's BitHub? I did not know about that.
Bit Hunt,
Hunt.
BitClout
Oh,
Hunt used to be
Bit
called
Hunt.
BitClout Hunt.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, no mind, no mind.
yeah.
I
Sorry,
heard BitHub. I heard BitHub. I'm like, what's BitHub? Makes sense.
that's a good idea. Let's launch it. Yeah, Bit Hunt. Yeah, so Jack, the guy
Yeah,
behind Bit Hunt, been talking to him for like weeks now. He's just a really nice guy,
yeah. I love Jack. Yeah,
and
he was on the
yeah,
podcast, and yeah, he's a cool dude. Yeah,
yeah, really nice guy. And obviously, I was excited to show what we were doing at Clubroom, so I was like, oh, check this out. Sent him the domain. He's like, oh, hang on, this looks really good. And then he asked me like loads of questions about like the team and our sort of motivations and stuff like that. He was really stringent with his like questions, and I really like that, because it proves to us like we're both in it for the right reasons.
yep.
So that was really good. And after a few conversations, like, yeah, we think we want to help support this project and make it a success early on. So they wanted to do it through Bitseed, which I think is going to be backed by BitHunt
Yep.
eventually, but
Yep.
we'll get to that.
Yeah, no, I chatted quite a bit about him. His vision is amazing. Like he's got some really awesome people behind, like Ryan Hoover supporting, like Arts, obviously Chris
Yeah,
McCann. Like there's some really cool people behind, and like yeah, I love what they're trying to do. Kind of like kind of mixing like a mix of like obviously Product Hunt and Angel List there. It's very cool stuff that they're what he's doing. Really impressive
yeah,
too. Um, yeah.
yeah,
Want to change the gear a little bit. I actually before we finish this topic, I kind of want to know this from you because I have the same problem. Because when you're building different projects, and as you said, there's so much opportunity here. I always get kind of this opportunity cost, and I get like, I want to build this, but I also want to build this. How do you determine how much effort go into which project?
yeah. And obviously that's always going to be a consideration when you come up with new ideas. Like, do I even have like the capacity to do this? And usually the answer is no. Usually, because Q obviously pays the bills, and that's got to be my focus every day, and day in and day out. That's got to be my focus. Um,
Yep.
BitClout came along and obviously changed that a little bit. Like I need to get involved here. I missed out on Bitcoin, so I don't want to miss out on BitClout. I need to put in some extra time in this. So yeah, I am working a bit extra every day now in order to fit all this other stuff in. Um, but I'm definitely not burning out or anything. I'm not overdoing it. I'm quite good at managing that time and managing what I need to do every day now. Being a 36-year-old guy has helped there. Um, yeah, so experience is really helping me manage the multiple projects. CloutPunk obviously is just like
Yep.
this really fun side thing. It takes 5 minutes or so to do a punk, and it's just good fun. And Manu helps me post everything on the actual page. Just like I send him the photo, and he sorts all the stuff out. It's like so like from my point of view, it probably takes about 20 minutes a day. CloutPunk. Um, CloutLater is one of those things. It's built now, so now it's a case of just supporting these early users, making sure they're successful, and then we'll see how it goes over the time. Again, it's not taking much time. Um, Probably the most time right now is club rooms, because there's so many conversations we're having with people, getting people excited about it, and obviously all the talks with developers and everything to make sure that we're all on the same page. Because from my point of view, I've actually never worked with multiple developers on things. We've only ever had one developer at Q. So this new sort of dynamic of being able to have multiple people work on different things at the same time, it's new to me for sure. But it's good fun.
Awesome.
It's good fun. They can work together. They've got the different little areas that they're good at and stuff. They're all bringing it all together and building something really cool.
Makes sense. I read one of your quotes. You said ideas are dangerous, especially on BitClout. What did you mean by that?
Because like you say, there's so much opportunity, and you could literally start a new idea every 5 minutes. There's
Yeah.
like I've probably got a list as long as my arm about what I could build next, but like yeah, it's about that prioritization. Like, what is going to make the biggest impact here? Like, what's going to help me in my career the best? Like, and I feel like CloutLater was just obvious for us because we've done it.
Yeah.
We've done it for years. We've built social scheduling tools before, Social Chief it's called. And we're taking that expertise to BitClout. It just made total sense. Um, Clubrooms is a new area for us, but again, it just felt like it was the right thing to build. No one else was building the video experience, like locking things behind your BitClout windowing and things like that. And we felt like it was the right thing to do. It's a good opportunity. We've got a really good set of people behind it. It was just the right thing to do.
Got it. Awesome. I think another thing I read was you had a question, and I don't know if you figured out the answer for that now or not. You said, should you be holding coin for success for access, or making a SaaS monthly subscription as a business model? Have you figured that out yet, or are you still kind of thinking about that? How does that?
Yeah, that is it's still a question on my mind, really, to be honest, because I still want that. I still want a reason to hold the coin. Like, I need the coin to have some utility value. Like, why would someone want to hold on a coin? You know, if they're paying like 10, $20 a month for the service, why would they want to hold the coin? Because the coin isn't really linked to the success of the company in any way.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I sort of want to build some way to do that. And to be honest, I think the best way to do it is to lock certain features behind holding the coin, like holding a certain amount of coin or something. But again, yeah, not really figured it out yet,
Yeah.
but I'm sure we will. Sure we will
I,
over time.
yeah, I think as more and more people work on it and try different things, I'm sure something would stick and it'll be like, whoa, makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um, so last topic that I want to get into is content. But before we get into that, actually, since mining just BitCloud just came out with you can do mining now, so I kind of want to know from you, because I read from your post that you kind of said from what you could deduce basically that you can earn approximately $2 an hour if you were to mine on the side, and that leads to $1,300 a month. I just trying to understand how does that work? For someone who's new to this platform and wants to get into mining, what should they be looking for? How should they approach this?
well, ideally you need a good or a fast GPU. That's the number one thing to start with. And then there's this mining pool called Clout Reactor. So they've got this GitHub page. You download their service and you start it on the command line and it just starts mining, just like that, really simple. Um, but yeah, how much you earn depends on how fast your GPU is. Thankfully, I've got quite a fast 3070 laptop. Sorry, a 3080 laptop, and it's mining at like 479 megahashes a second. Um, and from when I clouded that deduction about what I could actually earn, it seemed to be quite consistent, $2 an hour, and sort of worked out to that. But it's jumping all over the place. Like, it went from like zero point 0.1 to like 0.6, and like I was like, why? Whoa! Well, you just give me half a BitClout for like 5 seconds. So I'm still calculating exactly what it will earn over time, but it seems to have slowed up a little bit right now. But again, it might just jump up. But I'll see over time. It's only been a couple of days. But yeah,
So
if you want to get
yeah,
into mining, fast GPU. Yeah.
so fast GPU, but then also adding that with the electricity cost. Like, how do you make sure that it works out, kind of thing? Like it makes sense.
Yeah, I think I calculated this to cost around about $15 or $16 an hour, and obviously, sorry, a month if you left it on 24/7. So it doesn't need to earn that much in order to be profitable at the moment, and it will get
Okay.
harder over time. So I wouldn't go spending like thousands and thousands on a mining rig or something unless you're in it for the long run. Um,
Mm,
and you think that BitClout is going to double, or triple, or quadruple, or 50x over time, because you never know, it might do.
makes sense. Awesome. Okay, let's talk about content. So you guys have been in the content space for so long. Um, how do you see the content evolving on the platform?
Yeah, this is a tough one. I think it's down to the different nodes that are going to come out here and there everywhere. And obviously there's going to be like a YouTube node, there's going to be an Instagram node, there's going to be like all these different copies of various social networks built on BitClout. Um, and then I think it would just be like so almost like a carbon copy of what's already on social, but just on BitClout. And obviously then marketers will come in and ruin everything. Um, but at least we can't really have ads, in the same form factor. And I'm sure there's just going to be new ways to generate traffic and things like that, like that Cloutcast thing. That seems to work quite well. So I think there'll be more of that. God, what type of content will there be? Yeah, I think it's more of the same. I think the good thing about the value, having a value, and like diamond tipping something like that, is that people want to say good things. They want to be positive. They actually want to provide value to the community so that they get some value back. And I think that's the really good thing about having a coin value and diamond tipping. Um, and so far, everything's been really like positive on BitClout. I don't know if it's just because it's the right people, or if it's because of the coins and the diamond tippings, but so far it's really good, and I'm hoping that continues for the long term. Yeah,
Love it. Any trends that you've seen on the content side so far?
not particularly.
Hmm.
Obviously, lots of people are trying different things like competitions, giveaways, and reclout this for that and everything, and that will probably get a bit stale after a bit of time. But yeah, I think right now just provide really good value, um, getting conversations. Really, that's the number one thing you can do. Just build connections.